Welcome back, everyone. My name is Edward, also known as Strategy, and today I have something special. I'm going to be playing Timeless. There are some new cards out, Library of Alexandria being a big one. Super excited to play this card. I appreciate everyone's patience. I am home now. I am good to go, and I'm excited to start making some more videos. I'm doing Timeless today for a couple reasons. One, it's a lot easier to play Arena than it is to play MTGO. And I think I can just hopefully get this video pumped out, and so you guys don't have to wait any longer. And then maybe I'll go back to my regular schedule. Maybe I'll do some Brawl like I talked about before. Maybe I'll do some more Timeless. I am very, very excited to play with cards like Library of Alexandria. Today's list that I am playing won a recent Arena Open. I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, but near Tico. They played this list to a first place finish, and I am super excited to try it out. I'm not making any changes. For those of you that been watching my content, you may be new. I'm new overall, so I think everyone's new. But I don't like making changes to lists if I'm not educated on the format. And since I am copying a list, I'm just going to take what their 75 is and do the best I can with it. So, some notable things: there's no Demonic Tutor and there's no Vampiric Tutor. This deck seems to be a tempo with a Entomb Oops Atraxa finish. Or obviously sometimes you just open with Entomb Reanimate and you have Force of Will or Daze to back it up. Similar to the Legacy build. For those of you wondering why no Vampiric, why no Demonic, Vampiric Tutor I think I can answer fairly confidently and easily. You don't want the card disadvantage with Vampiric Tutor unless you're like instantly winning the game with it. So if we were a Breach deck, pretty sure a Breach deck would want, all 4 copies of Vampiric Tutor. But obviously I could be wrong on that, but they're going to play some number of them, I'm sure, because once you resolve Breach, you can just instantly win the game. Where Atraxa, you still have to, on average, attack 3 times with it in order to finish off the game. And if our opponent has a Swords of the Plowshares, well, we just spent a bunch of cards, went down a card on a Vampiric Tutor, just to get our Atraxa Swords of the Plowshare, and there's not a whole lot of card types, so maybe we only draw 3 cards off of our Atraxa, and one of them's a land. Like that's not exciting. This deck, like I might have already mentioned, does seem to be like a tempo build to start. And then Demonic Tutor, my assumption is that you don't want to be spending your second turn Demonic Tutoring and setting up this Entomb Atraxa. I think Ponder is just better at that, and it can find you whatever answer you may need for cheaper. To kind of pseudo time walk yourself, I don't think is what this deck's going to be doing. Again, that's just my opinion. First glance, I assume that's why it's not playing the Demonic Tutor. Again, something like a Grixis or Rakdos Breach deck, I assume will be wanting cards like Demonic Tutor. So let's look at our sideboard. So we're playing with a couple of removal spells. We got our Force of Negations for, I assume, Breach style decks. Harbinger of Seas. I don't know what this is for, like, officially. I have not played a lot of Timeless recently, something I'm hoping to change. And then we have our finished playset of Orcish Bowmasters, I assume, for our Tempo Blue Soup deck, Mirrors. And then Griefs, I assume that this is for combo decks. And then 3 Library of Alexandrias. I'm super excited to play with this, but I assume this is for like the more grindy matchups. I've never had the pleasure of playing with 4 libraries, and some of my boomer friends, if you will, have recalled the days and told me about them, so I'm excited to try it out for myself. I assume that when libraries come in, strip mines come out, and so on. So without further ado, let's get into the first match. I'll see you there. The NYSE is returning for its 10th installment this summer. Have you ever won a piece of power during a Magic the Gathering tournament? Well, now's your chance. All 5 Moxen, a Time Walk, an Ancestral Recall, and even a Black Lotus will be up for grabs at this tournament. This event will be taking place on June 6th in Patchogue, New York. Worried about playing an underpowered deck? Don't worry. You're allowed to play with up to 15 proxies. Use the link in the description for more information regarding this historic event. I can't wait to see you there. Now let's get back to the action. Welcome to round 1. This is a very interesting hand that doesn't do a whole lot, but it has 3 strip mine. I don't think we're supposed to keep this hand. We have Force of Will, of course, but, you know, that means we can't ponder in turn 1. Our opponent is on the play, but if they just go, like, Dragon Rage Channeler and we just go Strip Mine Go, I just don't like that game. So let's mulligan. Oh my gosh, now we have a bunch of Entombs and a Reanimate. I'm going to keep this. Main reason, I'm going to bottom an Entomb, but we don't mind if our Entomb gets countered, and I'm just going to hope that it does get countered. And I may play the Entomb before the Hydroponics, just mainly to play into a Daze, maybe. That's how I'm going to play this hand. Let's see what our opponent wants to do. Okay, they do have an island into a Delver of Secrets. So, like I said, I'm going to play this Entomb, hopefully into a Daze. On purpose. Yep, let's do this. I am going to say go. I don't know if they could have main board. I don't know if they could have main board graveyard interaction, but we're still playing Entomb into a Daze. So that's good. Also, good thing our opponent bobbled themselves with the Delver, so they are aware of that trick. Oh, did they... Oh, wait. Yeah, they stacked. Yeah, they stacked it right. I'm sorry, I confused myself there for a minute, but yes, they did do the Delver trick. For those of you that don't know, you can bobble yourself and see what the card is, and then when you go to your upkeep, you can stack the triggers to where if it's not an instant or sorcery, you can then put the Delver trigger on the stack first, so that the bobble trigger resolves first, so that you'll draw that non-instant or sorcery, and then you have a second chance at hitting an instant or sorcery. That is a trick I have not seen in a while, because I have not seen a lot of Delver in a while. As you can tell, I have not played a whole lot of Constructed in general. So I think, I don't know if this is Bronze 4 or Bronze 3. I did play a couple games with an Is It Tempo deck the other day on my phone, but I didn't play very many. So this might be Bronze 3. I honestly don't know. But our opponent is in the silver bracket, so we can be playing basically anything in these brackets. A lot of players, you know, play what they have, which is totally fine. Luckily, since I play a lot of Cube, I get a lot of wild cards, and so I can build basically whatever on the client now, which is nice, without having to invest anything. Monetarily, of course. Obviously, I have to invest my time. But that's where you guys come in. Hopefully, you're enjoying it. All right, let's play this into a Daze. I kind of hope I draw into an untapped source. Oh, a Force of Will, even better. Come on, untapped. Oh, that's not good. Okay, let's island here into Hydroponics. And I would ponder here, but like the only type of interaction we'd be able to find really is Daze. Because if we ponder and find a Force of Will, okay, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and Entomb now, because we want this Entomb to resolve, and if they had Daze, they would have used it. So let's put an Atraxa in the yard. They're going to take another 3, and then now we're going to ponder. Hopefully we'd find a blue card or a Force, and we're going to ponder first. Okay, they played another land. That's good for us, because that means we only have 2 cards left. But yeah, hopefully we find some type of interaction. We can ponder into more interaction, or to finish that interaction, like if it's a blue card. We obviously, if it's actual Force of Will, we won't need to ponder, because we'll just use ponder as our pitch spell. Also very happy. Oh, Treasure Cruise. That's not good for us. Yep. I'm very happy that they put the original art ponder into the format. I'm surprised they didn't do the 3 moon ponder, because that's the one that everyone seems to like. I've only met like 2 people that are like me that prefer the original ponder, and there's a Force of Will. Okay. I don't think there's really a point to sewers yet. Let's reanimate and see if our card resolves. But we have interaction. We can play around Daze. So they have to have 2 Force of Wills here, or a Force of Will and Force of Negation. That's kind of incredible. And then depending on what happens, then we can sewers with the information of we have an Atraxa or we don't have an Atraxa. Let's resolve. We will pay. Okay, so they just wanted to tap us out. Okay, good games. They're giving us. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna fatal push. We're gonna strip mine, I think. And we're gonna treasure cruise. That's all of the types we can get. And we did not play our land yet, so now we can strip mine their vents. They already returned their island to their hand. And we have Force of Will still. Now, we can't play around a second daze, but they would have had to have drawn it this turn because they would have dazed again previously. We do not care about creatures anymore. What's nice is that even if they have an Unholy Heat, which actually is on, Unholy Heat doesn't kill Atraxa. That is something we need to kind of be concerned with, but I'm going to attack. If they have Unholy Heat, that's probably fine. We can force it. And if their last cards are Unholy Heat, Force Blue card, that's fine. They got us. Okay, they're not blocking. So Unholy Heat, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that from a possibility. Let's... I don't really want to ponder. Okay, good game. I will... Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, I did do best of 3. Okay, I was like, I don't remember if this is best of 3 or not. I was hoping to do best of 3, obviously, hence why I talked about the sideboard, but... Okay, so we're playing against a more tempo deck. This might be a deck that I want Harbinger of the Seas. Either way, we're going to cut the Atraxa package, at least for game 2, and kind of throw them a curveball. Treasure Cruise is going to be kind of annoying if they have, like, hard graveyard removal. Like Unlicensed Hearse might qualify as hard graveyard removal. It's in terms of Treasure Cruise, but I meant like, rest in peace effects. But luckily they've shown that there isn't. So they usually play like Surgicals and stuff. So we still want to keep Reanimate because just being able to reanimate like Orcish Bowmasters is not that big. Like it is nice. I was gonna say it's not that big of a deal, which is not accurate whatsoever. It's a very big deal. So yeah, I'm going to play these Harbingers. I don't really like Force of Will against the Delver decks. Is it weird? I don't want to play Griefs and such either. This is the problem with, so like this deck is a very, I assume, will admit, I am making assumptions. I assume that this is fine-tuned for like the upper meta of which Delver is not a thing. Now, Hydroponics Architect is kind of replaced Delver on Arena. It's a very powerful card. But Delver itself is kind of interesting. Also, speaking of interesting, this is interesting. I've never seen that before. I kind of like that. I wish it was a permanent art. Do we just play? This is interesting. Okay. This is how much I don't want to play with Force of Wills. I don't think this is correct. Do not do this at home. But this makes it an even 60. We're playing a ton of lands. But we're going to give that a try. I want to play with Library of Alexandria. I don't think this is necessarily the Library of Alexandria matchup. But if our opponent doesn't strip mine it and we can open with one, that'll be incredible. Even if it means we're playing with 3 extra lands in our deck. Okay, well, this hand is perfectly functioning, and I'm not going to mulligan to a Library of Alexandria. We have 2 removal spells. We have a Harbinger of Seas, which can turn off their red mana if they don't get a basic early. And we have a Ponder. So yeah, let's keep. I wonder what happened, because like I definitely have the... Oh, I know what happened. I know what happened. I have the simplifier thing on, so it doesn't show the old frames. Okay, that's interesting. So we're going to run into a daze here, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to run into a daze. Hopefully they don't have a daze, but I'm not going to give them a chance to do this for free. It's going to cost them a card. While they're thinking, let's, what is it, gameplay? No, I don't remember. What did they do? Oh, maybe it's in graphics. Nope, that's not it either. I'm very confused, and I'm sorry for doing this in the middle. Hide alternate art style. Maybe that's something I have to do between games. Either way, I apologize. Okay, so they did end up dazing like I thought they would, which is fine. We're going to play, I don't know why they keep going good game, but we're going to play Hex with this time around to days. We're going to say go. We don't really need to ponder right now, and we can just surveil, get another black land. Okay, they do find their basic mountain, so the Harbinger of Seas is not going to be as great. Which is fine, because I probably don't want to play it right now anyways, because I haven't been able to find a swamp. Undercity Sewers. A Tameo's nice. We'll keep a Tameo. And I don't want to play the Harbingers right here. Mostly because I don't want to turn off my Fatal Push. So here, let's ponder first before we commit to the Tameo. Remember, Tameo just loses to a Bolt. Okay, we can reanimate their own Hydroponics, and then we just have a bunch of removal for like the rest of their deck. We can also reanimate Tameo. I'm going to decline. So if this gets bolted, we can reanimate it. I think I want to... Actually, you know what? No, I don't think I do want to reanimate the Architect. Now that I think about it. Because our next two draws are Fatals, and I think I'd rather just hold it for reanimate Tameo. Which I assume if they have the bolt, they're just going to bolt at end of turn, so I won't be able to reanimate it till the following turn. Yep, okay, I was going to say, unless they get lazy and do have the bolt 1, and 2, just use it immediately. Even then, I probably would want to wait next turn just to play around a Daze effect. Our opponent is on the play, so them having Daze 100% warranted. I don't know if our opponent's going to have Daze on the draw, which is another thing that we need to consider as well for ourselves. But I'd rather play Daze than... That's fine. I'd rather play Daze than Force of Will in these matchups, just because I don't want to 2-for-1 myself. Okay, they have that. And then, what's this other card? Can't be countered. Deals 1 damage to target creature. Planeswalker, if it deals 5 damage instead if the target is white or blue. Okay, sure. You have it. Congratulations. I have 2 Fatal Pushes on top. Let's just save the life. If they Daze, that's fine. Okay, they don't have a Daze. Let's reanimate the Tameo. Oh, nope, 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 nope. There we go. Reanimate the Tameo. Okay, it comes in. I don't want to be Fatal Pushing for half a card. Okay, that's fine. I would love to Fatal Push that. They have a second... Oh, they may just equip, which is lovely. Obviously, Corey Steelcutter does not fall into this category, but this is a prime example of why I don't like equipment in Cube. But I will see you next round. Welcome to round 2. Excuse me. I did forget to do my graphics, but I will hopefully remember for next time. I'm going to keep this. We kind of have a little bit of everything. Lots of resources. This is a cute companion. And our opponent is on the play, so that means our opponent has Daze superiority, unfortunately. Oh, Chrome Mox, okay. Discarding a brain, or not discarding, but imprinting a Brainstorm, casting another Brainstorm. Okay, so we're playing against the Belcher deck. I think I'm supposed to ponder. And try to find an answer. If I find a reanimate, that's kind of like finding an answer because we can entomb. I don't think any of this does anything. That definitely doesn't do anything. We don't even have a way to naturally discard it. Well, if we find a force, another entomb, okay. Well, here's the thing. They didn't do anything last turn, so I'm just going to strip mine them, which arguably I should have strip mined them because now they can mana drain. That was so bad. I didn't think about mana drain until it was too late. Okay, they didn't do that. All right, let's hit this. Hopefully this makes them regret not mana draining our Hydroponics Architect. Okay, we found a Force of Will, thankfully. Let's attack. We'll get this trigger. And let's hope that it hit a Strip Mine. If it hit a Strip Mine, this is going to be incredible. It did hit a Strip Mine. Nice. Let's just destroy that now. Hydroponics Architect is so good. I love this card so much. For those of you that don't play Arena, that maybe you started watching me because I started playing Vintage or just Cube in general, this is the reason. This is the reason why this card is awesome. Absolutely love it. I wish I could play it in my Cube. I could play it like on my Arena Cube. I wish I could play it like in Paper Cube. It's just the whole well, one, perpetual, but that one you can kind of get around. But the fact that it's random, like in your library, it's not realistic to track, so, which is unfortunate. But on Arena or a digital client, it's obviously very easy. So, not a fetch land. That is upsetting. Let's just get in there. Okay. And here, I'm just gonna bolt in this Watery Grave because we're just gonna toss these entombs. Probably put the other two entombs in the yard so that if we find like a treasure cruise, it'll be nice. We could entomb, I guess, Orcish Bowmasters or a Tameo. That's something I should have considered. I'll admit I should have considered that because I could have reanimated this turn for that. Okay, it didn't matter, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't correct for me to entomb reanimate one of my lesser creatures. Either a Tameo or an Orcish Bowmasters. So, okay, we definitely want these Force of Negations. I think we definitely want these Griefs. I think we're going to be too slow for Library of Alexandria. I think we can honestly just get rid of the Reanimate package and just play more low to the ground. I do not think that Harbinger of Seas is something that we want. Our opponent is a base blue deck after all. And maybe we just cut a Reanimate here. No, because we can Grief Reanimate. So maybe we cut an Orcish Bowmasters. I don't know. I mean, obviously they showed us Brainstorm, so they have Brainstorms. But I don't know what else they could have, and I really like maximizing the Grief pitch cast. But cutting a black card may not be the best way to do that because we just don't have a lot of black cards. So maybe it's a Fatal Push. I don't know how many creatures they're going to play. So maybe we just bring in these Bowmasters anyways. Now we need to find one more card. So it's either like play Library or play Harbinger. I'm just gonna throw in a Library. Sure, why not? I spent 3 mythics, might as well use them, right? I expected to see more control decks. I mean, it's only round 2, but I expected to see more control decks in like best of 3. You don't see a whole lot of like dedicated combo decks. They may not be Charbelcher or like Oops All Spells, variant, whatever. You know, Thassa's Oracle combo, etc. Something janky. Well, let's keep. I'll admit, I'm only keeping because Library of Alexandria. I would not, if this was face down, if this Library of Alexandria was face down and this was my hand, I'm not keeping. These treasure cruises are basically dead. Oh, they mulligan to 5. Well, we might be dead very quickly, or we may have a lot of time. Ooh. Well, they played a fetch land, so they may be playing a transformational sideboard, which is fine. We have a Library of Alexandria, and then when they fetch, we can follow it up with a Strip Mine. We can also just Orcish Bowmasters. Another fetch land, interesting. Now, they could have an Orcish Bowmasters here, and if they do, oh well. Okay, they did not. Interesting. I'm gonna play Misty Rainforest, and then if we want to play the Orcish Bowmasters, we can. Here, I think I'm just gonna discard a Treasure Cruise. I could also see just discarding a Brainstorm, honestly. But getting through 2 Treasure Cruises, if the game goes that long, I'm probably already won. Hedge Maze, okay. Is this a... this makes me think Show and Tell. Let's get rid of a Treasure Cruise. If I draw a Force of Will off the top, then I will, like with Library, then I can pitch a Brainstorm. Depending on what they do here, though, I am going to start strip mining. Unfortunately, I can't get R1 sewers with the Misty Rainforest. Yeah, I'm thinking that this is a Show and Tell at this point. Yep, it is in fact a Show and Tell. Okay, so let's draw a card. Let's hope to hit a Force or a Daze. I hit another strip mine, unfortunately. We will fetch. Basic. No, let's just get the Grave. Brainstorm, let's hope to get some permission. We did not. Wow, this is horrible. Well, we will get to play game 3. Yep. And if they have an Atraxa, this game may just be over. I don't really have an answer to Atraxa. Not post board, at least. If they have, say, like Enter the Infinite, they may just be dead. We'll see. I don't know how the Show and Tell decks are currently. Either way, I like our sideboard. Oh, Demonic Tutor. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. That's probably going to kill us, but I'm going to let them show us how they're going to beat us. Cyber Siphoneer. Okay, so now they're going to get back Demonic Tutor. Yep. Are they just building up Storm Count, maybe? Do they just have a bunch of these and they're just going to keep repeating them? Oh, and Atraxa now. Okay, so they've got an extra body. What is this? Oh, Carpet of Flowers. Nice. And they have Force of Will and everything. Okay, so this game is effectively over, so we are going to concede. Their last card was Sublime Epiphany. Nice. Okay, so I don't know if we want to continue Atraxing. Unfortunately, we didn't get to shine with the library because we didn't draw one of our 6 forces. But I like the way our build is currently set up. We definitely want the 4 Orcish Bowmasters. I don't know if we want to play the Harbinger or not. And keep in mind, we can grief them and then reanimate their Atraxa, which is really cool. Yeah, I think I like all this out and just keeping it how I have it, honestly. I don't like the Harbinger. They can win off Show and Tell Omniscience, and then their mana doesn't necessarily matter. So I don't want to make my mana worse. We will play first. We have forces. I'm going to keep. We're going to play this fetch land and get a sewers. So double force, double blue card, lands, and strip mine. Yes, please. The only thing that could make this hand better is if this island was one of our 1-drop creatures. Or, I guess, arguably this strip mine. If one of these 2 cards was one of our 1-drop creatures, that's the only way that this hand honestly gets better. The fact that this is Treasure Cruise isn't necessarily relevant because it's our first pitch spell. So the fact that we can't play this for several turns is negated by the fact that we're going to pitch it to the Force. I'm so excited that Force of Will's on the client now. Mostly for my cube, but just also because I really like Arena, and being able to get closer and closer to at least Legacy on the client is really nice. Yep. Undercity Sewers. We're trying to find a 1-drop. Something, or like Orcish Bowmasters. Grief is not enough, and this turns on reanimates. So let's get rid of that. Not a reanimate. That is an island, however, and I'm going to strip mine it. Let's strip mine that bad boy. Yep, that's fine. They can brainstorm all they want. Yep, that's fine. And if we can get to it down to enough cards fast enough, I mean, honestly, this treasure cruise is looking really nice. I do want to keep up multiple forces for as long as possible, though. So I don't have any aspirations to play this brainstorm anytime soon. Even if we draw like a Tamiya or an Architect, I'd rather play one of those threats so we can get the ball rolling on our card advantage engine. Breeding Pool into Carpet. That's a ton of mana. That is an absolutely ton of mana. I don't think I can let them have that. Forcing this just feels absolutely awful. I'm going to pitch the Brainstorm. Again, I don't want to play the Brainstorm quite yet, and this gets us closer to Treasure Cruise anyways. Okay, well, if we're going to draw Strip Mines, might as well play them. Again, it's getting closer to the Treasure Cruise, which next turn I'm... Okay, yeah, I drew a fetch land. This is turning off Force of Will, but I think it's worth it. And obviously, if we find another blue card, then Force of Will is not off. Now, Treasure Cruise has to resolve. Okay, I did resolve. We did not find a blue card. Holy cow, that's a ton of lands. We only put one extra land in our deck in its library, and they have the... Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yep. I don't think we have an answer to this. We would have lost our... I don't think we're winning this game, even if I didn't Treasure Cruise there. We would have drawn land, Orcish Bowmasters. We wouldn't have had our Force or our Treasure Cruise. So we have effectively 3 dead draws in a row against a deck that's very potent. So, yeah, and another land. I don't think we're winning this game regardless, and that's fine. I will see you next round. I am proud to announce the 2026 Oklahoma Land Run Weekend, July 10th through the 12th. This event will be held at the Reed Convention Center in Midwest City, Oklahoma. Join me and my vintage family for a weekend of Magic the Gathering events featuring huge prizes and competitive play across multiple formats. Main events include a Vintage, a Legacy, and a Team Trios event, including Vintage, Legacy, and Modern. Don't have power? No worries. You can proxy any card currently on the reserve list. This year's artist is none other than the literal legend Nicola Beeson. Beeson will be on site all weekend long and is the designer of this year's playmat. Our game would not have stood the test of time without artists like Nicola Beeson. Please show her some support during the event. In addition to other prizes, the Vintage Champion will receive the original painting of the playmat art, while the Legacy Champion will receive the original sketch of the painting. Side events so far include a High Roller Vintage Cube for Power Thursday evening, at least one old school charity event, a pre-modern challenge also Thursday evening hosted by Game HQ, Duel Commander, and even more to follow. For more information, please use the links in the description to join the Oklahoma Land Run Discord. I'll see you there. Now let's get back to the video. Welcome to round 3. We're on the draw yet again. I did fix my graphics this time. Super excited. Opponent goes first. We have Reanimate, we have Force Blue card, we have Ponder, we have lands. I think we keep. Just like last time, I think one of the only ways this hand gets better is like you turn one of these Brainstorms into a 1-drop creature. Can't really ask for much better. Ragavan is unfortunate, and I do think, given this hand, I am gonna Force of Will this Ragavan. I wish I had removal to make the Ragavan not matter. Okay, well, drawing another Force of Will is not the greatest. I could reanimate this Ragavan, but the chances of them having a creature are so high. I think I'm just going to play Misty Rainforest and pass. Let's hit a Sewers, and let's hope to hit... I mean, if we can just naturally hit Atraxa, that would be incredible. But we can try to find either an Entomb or you know, one of our blue creature 1-drops. All of those things would be incredible for us. Okay, so we're playing against Mardu. Oh. Okay, Esper Sentinel. Glad I didn't reanimate the... Okay, so we're playing against Mardu Energy. Glad we didn't reanimate the Ragavan now. This is me being lazy, and that's fine. It's actually not fine, but if I get punished, I get punished. Fatal Push. Yes, we will leave that on top. So, I do need to pay for this Esper Sentinel. Am I supposed to just say go? Let's see what they do. Obviously, I shouldn't have fetched if I wasn't going to do this now. I just don't know if I want to hit the Esper Sentinel or the Guide of Souls here, unfortunately. Okay. I'm going to hit the Esper Sentinel, I think. I can Force of Will their next play now if I want to. If it's another Esper Sentinel, that's unfortunate, obviously. Ocelot Pride. This is why I don't like Force of Wills in these creature matchups, but these forces are probably coming out. Ocelot Pride. I don't currently have a way to deal with it. And this card can just run away with the game. If they have a second Ocelot Pride, then they have a second Ocelot Pride. Depending on what we find with this Ponder, I may reanimate an Ocelot Pride. It doesn't do much against the Guide of Souls, but they have to think twice when attacking me. Ooh. And we can Strip Mine. I don't hate that here, since their opponent isn't drawing more lands. And I can Daze into Treasure Cruise. Okay. Decline the shuffle, draw. I don't know if I'm supposed to hit the black or the red mana. I'm just going to hit the untapped mana here. I think everything they've played so far is white. Oh yeah, the Ragavan's red. Okay. To be fair, that's a white card. Mostly white. Okay, so let's go to main phase 2. Our opponent's thinking. They might be thinking about bolting us, and if they do, I'm just going to let it happen. I don't know if it's a mistake to reanimate their Ocelot Pride or not. I think it is, ultimately, because they can just not attack with Guide of Souls, and then I can just never attack them. And their chances of finding another 1-drop, because clearly they have a ton of them, is better than me finding a removal spell, of which I only have 3 left. So I think I'm just going to hold and be patient. Maybe I'll draw an Entomb. We have Strip Mine on top. We can Strip Mine another land, and then after that, we have Treasure Cruise. Yep. Keep in mind, we have Daze too, so if they added in a Johnny there, I 100% would have countered it with the Daze and then reanimated the Ajani. I assume that they play Ajani. Arid Mesa. Are they going to flash something in? Because I will gladly Daze and then reanimate it. It is my main phase, so I can float Undercity Sewers. I can't replay Undercity Sewers, but I can float it. Yeah, let's black. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Undo. Because I can just pick up the island. No, I do want to do this. I think. Cast Daze. Pick this up. Submit. Again, I can't replay it this turn, but I can play it next turn. And then let's reanimate the Orcish Bowmasters. Hit here. I probably, if they attack, I probably will just trade Orcish Bowmasters for Guide of Souls. Actually, I guess, okay, so looking at life totals, I guess I can just attack them. And if they do play another Guide of Souls after attacks, then, you know, it's whatever. Oh, well, Ocelot Pride is not great for me. I'm going to Treasure Cruise, though, so I'm going to draw a ton of cards here. Yep, that's so unfortunate. All right, let's play Treasure Cruise. I don't think my graveyard matters in the slightest. Famous last words. Unfortunate draws, but let's Undercity Sewers. Entomb isn't going to do anything for us. Let's just bin it. No attacks. If they attack with Ocelot Pride, we get the double block. If they play a creature, they get free Ocelot triggers. We're already back at 5, so with the fetch land, that's 6. So we have 1 mana next turn post fetch land to Treasure Cruise again. That's not the worst. Okay, they did draw another land, unfortunately. Okay, so they clearly have removal, but I mean, I got to do what I got to do. Yep, there's the Galvanic. Okay, so they probably just didn't want to play that into a counterspell if I had one, but I win this transaction if I had the counterspell anyways. So I think they're supposed to just sorcery speed this onto my Orcish Bowmasters and then pump the Ocelot Pride, but I'm not going to complain. Okay, so here we go. This is going to have to get a Watery Grave, unfortunately. Orcish Bowmasters is not the worst. Let's ponder. I don't want any of these. Shuffle. Brainstorm's not going to help. So now they're going to jump their Ocelot Pride, and I think the game is just over. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm at 1. Yeah, I'm dead, unfortunately. I needed to find a fatal push on that turn or have a better first Treasure Cruise. Yep. I go to 1. Any Lightning Bolt just kills me. I don't know if they play Lightning Bolt. Maybe they choose to play Galvanic Discharge for the energy synergy. No pun intended. Okay, Ponder. Yep. None of this is going to do anything. So we will go to sideboard games. Now, this might be a game where Harbinger of the Seas is absolutely brutal. We definitely want our removal. We definitely want our Orcish Bowmasters. I don't think they saw... No, they did see Reanimate. I don't want my forces. I'll just be honest. I am on the play, so dazes are still fine. Maybe I cut a couple Entombs. Maybe I cut all my Entombs and bring in Griefs. I'm going to do that and just kind of see if they did bring in Graveyard Hate or not. And I can just bring in 3 Griefs. It's fine. I don't think I need a full set of Griefs. And I don't want Library of Alexandria. We didn't see any Strip Mines. I don't know if Mardu Energy can afford to play Strip Mines or not. But either way, we're gonna try this. We don't want to be strip mining our opponent. There's a chance that like that game it was fine because we were kind of at parity for such a long time, and they were clearly missing land drops, and we weren't. So again, it was fine. But maybe I should have considered putting in the 3 Library of Alexandrias and cutting the strip mines, because normally that's not great. But they are a Lurrus deck, so keeping them off mana is not nothing. So I don't know. to be continued on that. Let's play first. Yeah, we have a turn 1 thing, and if they kill it, we have Reanimate. So let's keep. We're just not drawing polluted deltas, I've noticed. Like, I just don't ever get to fetch for a basic swamp. Which is obviously super relevant because Harbinger of the Seas. Okay. And then we get to, if this survives, we get to use it immediately. And maybe it'll be a strip mine, like it was before. Static Prison. Okay, that's probably factually the worst because it's energy, they have plenty of energy, and we don't get to reanimate our threat. But we are going to strip mine them, so it is what it is. If they play a fetch land, I'll just play Flooded Strand. If they don't play a fetch land, I might strip mine it. We'll see. Esper Sentinel. Well, I kind of feel like I'm playing old school right now with East Central rules for what it's worth. This is also a way to kind of guarantee that I'm going to get my Static Prison back because now they need a land and like Galvanic Discharge. Okay, so they have the land part. Let's see if they have Galvanic Discharge. And even if they play a card here, they can still upkeep in response to this Galvanic Discharge. But then they're Galvanic Discharging just to keep my Hydroponics Architect away. Which again, I think is fine. Oh, that's actually an incredible draw. Yeah, I really like this draw. Okay. Do they have it? Nope, they don't. Cool. Which means they probably won't attack. And if they do, I got Orcus Bowmasters. So what's cool about this is that now, yeah, that's fine. Now I have a way to like trigger their Esper Sentinel to get more Orcus Bowmaster triggers, which is nice. I don't think they should attack here. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, I messed that up. Yep. Oh, well. I should have main phase 2 the Orcish Bowmasters. Oh, well. Things in paper I would have done, but in digital, yes, it's clear it was on the main phase 2. It's just, it's easier to verbally say, like, end of main phase 2. But yeah, let's just hit that. They're still going to get their trigger, of course, which they still get their extra energy, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Hey, we found our black source. So here, let's attack. I think I'm going to get Swamp no matter what. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely just going to get Swamp no matter what here. And play Harbinger, because this is basically like mono strip mine. They have to have basic plains or mountain. I don't know if they have basic Swamp or not. Yep, good game. We will go to game 3. I didn't see any reanimate hate, so maybe I want to bring in the reanimator stuff again, but honestly, I just don't think it's needed. And even though I talked about bringing in Library of Alexandria, I mean, these strip mines have just been really good. So, sure, we'll keep it. Just playing the 3 griefs. I don't think that this is the library matchup. You want like the control, like the slower control decks are where library really shines. You don't want to be librarying unless you're a dedicated control deck against the aggro decks. It was just a thought I had. This hand's not the greatest. We are on the draw. We do have a daze. I don't think we're supposed to keep this hand. We can Fatal Push one of their threats and then reanimate it. This is really tough. I honestly don't know if I'm supposed to keep this or not. I'm going to mulligan it. Okay, I do like this hand a lot better. It's just unfortunate that we only have 1 land. Let's hope that we top deck a land. I mean, even if we top deck a strip mine still gets us an Orcish Bowmasters. So I will confidently say any land will be nice. I'm just going to play a Hydroponics here, and I'm going to get a Watery Grave. They may keep their removal for my Harbinger, whatever. The all lands become islands. Not all lands. Non-basic lands become islands. They may keep removal for that because it's kind of lights out against them. Oh, nope, now they can get a basic. This should get a basic, I would imagine. The con with that is that I get to strip mine it. Okay, it does not get a basic. Thoughtseize is not going to do much against us, which is great. Because like our best card is Orcish Bowmasters, and we have 2 of them. I assume that they're going to take one of the Orcish Bowmasters because it's removal with upside. I can't imagine them taking Fatal Push. Okay, yeah. And now our Reanimate's turned on. So again, Thoughtseize doesn't do much. That's fine. If we can top deck a land, we have Orcish Bowmasters. We did not top deck a land. That is so unfortunate. Okay. Assuredly, this will get a basic. This may just be by Luris. Oh, Amped Raptor. Sure. Don't be an Ocelot Pride. Oh, that's brutal. Well, let's Fatal Push the Sentinel first. Resolve. This also means that our Orcish Bowmasters just does nothing. I am going to daze that with Prejudice. No, thank you. Ponder. All right. It doesn't matter which one I use. The game will correct, but... I mean, that's a land. I've already played a land, though, and I don't need the daze. I don't really need the ponder either, but I definitely want the land. So I don't think daze is going to matter. I could see putting daze first, but I can get rid of the daze, so decline to shuffle. I don't think the daze is going to matter at all. But yeah, this Orcish Bowmasters is basically just going to be 2 mana kill target Amped Raptor because they're going to Goblin Bombardment the Orcish Bowmasters in response, and then that's going to fizzle my trigger so I won't get a 1/1 Orc Army token. It's very sad, but well, at least they're flooding. If they play like 2/2 drops here, it's going to be kind of brutal. And the good thing about, like, the only silver lining that I can see, like, with them having Goblin Bombardment is that future Goblin Bombardments are just dead. Please don't have it, Johnny. Voice of Victory, okay. Another Amped Raptor. I'm surprised I didn't play this one first. I don't know if it matters or... Oh, you know what? No, because they want to play around the days. I'm an idiot. I'll shut up. And that's going to take the other Orcish Bowmasters. That's probably just game then. So maybe, I mean, this is results-oriented, but maybe I'm supposed to keep the Reanimator strategy in. Because, like, you know, Entomb Reanimate Atraxa right now is very nice. I don't think I can get anywhere beyond that. Obviously, we're going to have to draw this days doing the brainstorm this way. Okay, it just doesn't matter. Also, keep in mind, with the Voice of Victory, the days wouldn't have done much anyways. We would have played the days, maybe, but I don't even think that's good. And then they couldn't have Amped Raptored. Should have played the Flooded Strand. 100% should have played the Flooded Strand, because I wanted to get Basic Island there, and now I can't get Basic Swamp. I don't think it's going to matter, but it doesn't mean that I shouldn't play better. And, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I will see you in the next round. Welcome to round 4. I am on the play, and, well, we got Brainstorm, which basically makes this hand anything. It could even be a boat. I'm going to keep. Cantrips and lands are not necessarily ever a bad thing. I am just going to lead off with Polluted Delta. I'm probably not going to fetch it. 1, our sewers is in our hand, and 2, I do want to make these brainstorms a little bit better, which arguably maybe I'm supposed to just Watery Grave Ponder then, instead of just giving up our first turn entirely. I think I talked myself into Watery Grave Ponder. Our opponent's still thinking, it looks like. Really cool sleeves. I really want the, if they ever put the, like, Ice Age looking sleeves on the market, I really need someone to let me know so I can buy them. I love these sleeves, do not get me wrong. I absolutely love these sleeves. But if you've seen them, the Ice Age sleeves, they look like, the Magic back, but they just have like Ice Age colors, are also really nice. But I'm glad I got these though, because these are also beautiful. All right, so we are allowed to take our turn. Let's ponder. We don't know what our opponent's doing, so I think Force of Will and Fatal Push are both good. I'm going to leave Force of Will on top. And then obviously if they have a creature, we can just Fatal Push it the next turn, and then Brainstorm's probably not going to be relevant, but we're going to decline to shuffle, and we're going to draw this Force of Will, and yeah, again, I find myself saying this a lot. We just really want a turn 1 tempo creature now. Ponder is fine. But yeah, I've really been liking the Arena client lately. I think that WotC's doing a really good job getting some of these really more powerful cards that I like to play with on the client. So here I'm just going to strip mine. I don't know what they kept, but I'm going to strip mine. We still have Fatal Push up if we need it. We have Brainstorm up if we need it. This might be a mirror. Yep, we'll go to my turn. We'll play the Delta, and we'll just Brainstorm end of turn. If we have to Force of Will, we'll Brainstorm in response to Force of Will as well. Probably. Just so that we know like what we're going to be dealing with post stack. I do think it's better to Brainstorm in that case. Not just to see like maybe we want to Force of Will a different card or not. So this might be a Orcish Bowmasters, and if it is, we can Fatal Push. I doubt it's a counterspell of any kind. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, Reanimate. Nice. I'm going to put back the Undercity Sewers and I think a Brainstorm or a Reanimate. I'll put back a Reanimate. Let's fetch. We can get our Undercity Sewers now. Trigger. We will keep an Entomb. Troll of Khazad-dûn. Okay, so they are a blue-black reanimator of some sort. Now I wish I kept my other reanimate spell so I can reanimate their troll and see what they want to do. Yeah, I think they realize that it's the end of their turn, not the end of my turn. Well, let's Entomb. Let's take advantage of this. If they have ways to interact, then, oh well. Hopefully it's a Force of Will and not a Daze. I mean, I'll force the Daze regardless, but it's more likely that our spell resolves if, they have a Daze. It's too bad we didn't have another land. Oh well. Even if I kept the sewers, it's still a tap land, so just keep that in mind. We didn't play into this Daze by doing what I did. Oh, it works. Okay, let's find a Force of Will. Hydroponics, yes. Force of Will, yes. Polluted Delta. Okay, yeah, good game. All right, let's go to game 2. What's great about this is that I do confidently want to take out my Entombs. We are playing against the mirror. I don't want to help them. And we get to just bring in some Griefs. I guess we could also bring in Force of Negation. I'm going to try out these libraries. Let's try this. We still want Fatal Pushes because, again, our opponent could have Bowmasters or Frogs, etc. So I don't want to cut those entirely. We're on the draw, so I'm going to cut 2 of these Dazes for 2 Bowmasters. And actually, no, I still want Summoner. Oh, no, I still have the Force of Wills. Duh, that's obviously Summoner action. I don't know if I want the Dazes or if I want the Hexes. I'm going to leave it like this for now, and we'll see. I was hoping to see, I think if I do another timeless video, I guess more accurately when I do another timeless video, I really want to do like a blue-white controlled build with like four libraries, maybe 4 mana drains. I don't know what the rest of the show will look like. I don't know if Quantum Riddler will be a thing to help build back up or not. We shall see. This is a hand. I don't think it's necessarily a great hand. Yeah. Our opponent can just run us over with a hand like this. All right. Again, do not do this at home. I don't think this is a good keep, but I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid. So if our opponent has another slow hand like they did before, which keep in mind we did have a strip mine game, so that might have been okay. Tameo. Okay, well if they're Tameoing us, oh, that was an excellent draw. If they're Tameoing us, I like our chances a lot better. Our days is not up. And our Watery Grave was a great draw. If they have a strip mine here, that's fine. That means they're not drawing a card off Tameo. Yep. I'm just going to draw now. There's no reason to play into, the Bowmaster shenanigans. And then now I can Watery Grave. Psychic Frog is fine. Do I want to just play Hydroponics, I guess? That's probably fine. I could make them discard a card to beat down this Hydroponics. If I don't, then they get to flip their Tameo, and then this says when it attacks, so it doesn't care if it does damage or not. I actively don't know which is better. I'm going to let them hit me. Hopefully we can just trade resources. We both draw cards and we'll see who comes out on top. Remember, I do have a Library of Alexandria as well. Now, if they flip one of these clues, they do get to flip their Tameo, like I said, and that is a real threat. I'm going to draw a card in response. Okay. Not going to daze. I will daze if they play another frog, though. That is for sure. So they seem to be playing more of like the legacy-oriented blue-black, like the legacy of old blue-black Reanimator. And I am playing a winning deck list from earlier that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Yep, uptick. This is going to be a problem if we don't find an answer to it soon. Hopefully I draw a land. Undercity Sewers, okay. Hopefully I draw a land soon. Okay, I did draw a land. That is actually fantastic. It doesn't matter who we attack because it's going to be for 0. There's a couple ways to go about this. I can Tameo and flip my own Tameo, but I think I'd rather prioritize my Orcish Bowmaster here. That's what I'm going to do, because I don't want them drawing cards if I can help it. Okay, well, this being a Watery Grave is not the best. I was hoping it'd just be another fetch land. Let's play a Bowmasters. I'm not going to daze this. Let's hit the Tameo, and then now whenever if they want to draw cards like off the Psychic Frog, they really got to think about it. Discard a card. I want to discard a Ponder, honestly. I want to be making land drops. Also, this way, if they want to get a card back, they have to sacrifice their Tameo, which is nice. Also, remember, this says Perpetual, so I can daze this, pick it up, and replay it. I'm not going to do that just because like we have plenty of cards right now, but oh, okay. Resolve. Let's hit the Tameo. I'm glad this Orcish Bowmaster is resolved. Now if they have like a Fatal Push, I get to daze it and pick up this Watery Grave, which I can technically do before I library. I'm not going to. Well, actually, I guess I should because they can daze back. They're not going to jump it. I assume they're setting, yeah, that pause is probably them setting a, oh no. Interesting. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just draw a card. I know I'm supposed to wait till end of turn. Now I'm playing into an opponent's daze like we talked about. Oh, they can get back Brainstorm. Okay, but we have Orcish Bowmaster, so that's fine. We have a second Orcish Bowmasters. Am I supposed to just grief here? But I don't think I'm supposed to because they clearly have stuff. And if they have their own Orcish Bowmasters, they get to just defeat ours. So I think I'm supposed to just play Tameo and say go. Again, it doesn't matter which one I attack because Tameo. We get our trigger. We're going to end our turn. Hopefully they just, oh, they're going to crack that in response. Oh, yeah. Nope. Let's draw a card so we don't mess this up like I almost just did. Okay, now we'll do this. I apologize for my dogs barking. Let's go here. Let's go here. Okay, they pitch a card. I assume they're going to jump a card. Reanimate. That is unfortunate. Let's force pitching a Hydroponics. That worked. Okay, they just have a second reanimate because that'll be plenty, unfortunately. Again, I apologize for my dogs barking. Okay, they did have a second reanimate. That's unfortunate. Okay. We don't really have a way to interact with this Atraxa anymore, so that's probably just game, I would imagine. I guess what we need in this deck, I don't know if the original creator ran into this. They probably play this deck a lot better than I do, because we could have been digging for more interaction, to be fair. No blocks. This is going to ping them for 2. Okay, yeah, they're just going all in. That makes sense. Yep. Something I could do is attack and then destroy the thing that they hit, but anyways, I don't know if they're just like, yeah, I can't beat an Atraxa, so let's just make sure one doesn't resolve or what. Let's just hit the Psychic Frog. Force of negation. Pitching. So I can't even play into / around a daze. Reanimate's not going to do much. Yep. Flip that. Yep, don't have anything there. I only have 4 cards in my graveyard after all this somehow. I guess let's ponder. Try to find, nope. Try to find a fatal push to fatal push whatever they block. That is not it. We can fetch, go get whatever. Yep, okay, we got a Library of Alexandria, nice. Keep in mind we can daze this if we wanted to. Tameo's not enough. Griefs are not enough. We are going to grief them. Remember, I have 1 blocker, but we don't have the 2nd blocker for the Psychic Frog, but they have plenty of cards to discard, so it actually doesn't matter. So we'll go to the next game. Yeah, I like the way we played it. I think we just need to. Oh yeah, we're on the draw now, so we can daze. I just think that it was unfortunate that they were able to, you know, put in a Traxa like that. Do I want to cut Treasure Cruises? I don't know if that's true or not. Cut some number of Brainstorms. I think next time when I'm in that position, I just need to aggressively fire off my cantrips, I think is what I did wrong there. So contradicting what I said, I don't like what I did. Man. Am I supposed to cut some number of griefs? This seems sacrilegious, but I'm just gonna cut 2 Brainstorms and move on. Luna is not happy. It's really weird because I don't live near the road at all, so I don't know why she's barking, because we don't have people come up to our house. I mean, we do, but it's incredibly rare. Like, even our mailmen don't want to come to our house. We find our packages, like, in all sorts of different places. One time there was a package left in our, like, stream, which is over 100 yards away from our house. And it's like, oh, cool, thanks. All right, we will play first. We have a Library of Alexandria, which is not great, but we have Force blue card. We can do this, and then next turn we can draw and then activate Library and continue if we don't have to force immediately. I do think that something I am doing wrong here is I'm playing this deck like a control deck. Okay, again, if they're leading off with Ponder, that's great for us. Okay, we will draw a card. Ponder. I'm just going to play Sewers and say go. We don't need a Watery Grave. I would like to find a black card soon. We do have to be careful. Okay, yep, there's a frog. Okay, so we have more than 7. So what we can do here is that we can play Polluted Delta. We can draw a card with Library. It's another grief. Okay. I think we're supposed to ponder first. I would like to find a Fatal Push effect. Maybe we should have brought in those 2 other removal spells. Okay, we did not find one of those. That's unfortunate. We could play a Hydroponics. I'm going to shuffle, though, and try to find something else. Another land is not great. Yeah, I guess I should have just gone with the Hydroponics. That was kind of a punish. Let's end our turn. We can start hard cashing these griefs if we want to. Let's just discard a fetch. We can't be discarding these watery graves. I only have 1 more. So, yep, they get a free attack in. Now, we did see a daze, so I don't think I was supposed to cut dazes per se. But if I did choose to not bring in extra dazes and just bring in those extra removal spells, then maybe one of those would have been a removal spell. Oh, that's kind of abysmal, I'm not going to lie. Yep, no Bargoy for you. No thank you. Looks like they have a force of their own, unfortunately. Yep. And they pitch a student. Yep, they got it. Fatal Push can still answer a Bargoy, but this is going to get really ugly really fast. Let's just fetch now, go get another land. Interest tapped. Does not feel good whatsoever. I can grief them. I don't know how much that's going to really do. I can Treasure Cruise back up to 7. Five, 6, 7, 8. No, okay. I mean, I guess I get Library of Activation, but yeah, they have a Force of Negation. All right, this game is over. I definitely flubbed this one, and I apologize for that. I'll see you in the last round. Welcome to the 5th and final round. We have Hydroponics, Architect, and a fetch, so we're going to keep. Slippery Boggle. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Maybe we're supposed to just strip mine. I don't know. I don't know if we can really interact with this outside of like Attracts of them ASAP, but yeah, I didn't realize this was on the client. That's really cool. Enlightened Tutor. Okay, at least they have to take a turn to do something. Sheoldred's Edict would be nice. Land tax? But you're ahead on lands. Interesting. Well, let's just play a Hydroponics Architect. They only have 1 land and they play land tax go, but that's fine. Okay, sure. We'll just do the land tax go thing. Yep. I can say go. I can wait. Enlightened Tutor again. I'm just going to... I already showed that I was going to do something, so I felt like I had to do something there, unfortunately, but... We'll put, I guess, the lands back. No. I understand Fatal Push can't target Slippery Boggle. I don't know if they're playing exclusively Slippery Boggle effects, but I guess I'll put it back, just in case they are. That's fine. So here's what I can do now. Okay, so now I can play a land, and if they want to land tax, they shuffle that away. So we just did that for free, which is great. And I think I'm going to leave up Orcish Bowmasters to block. Yep, okay, they did take it, which means they just wasted it in Enlightened Tutor. All right, let's see what they play. Keep in mind I have days. And I can daze and Orcish Bowmasters. This is gonna be weird, but I'm actually gonna Force of Will this instead of dazing it. And the biggest reason is because I want to ambush this Boggle. Dang, they didn't fall for it. Well, that was our biggest way to get rid of the Boggle, so. Yep, I love it when this hits fetch lands. I mean, yeah, we could just fetch again. And I guess we'll Orcish Bowmasters this time. Now we can attack, which is great. Let's attack all out. Yep, no blocks. Let's fetch again. Another fetch land, which is great. Yeah, I'll strip mine. This just makes it easier. Yes, they get the land tax again, but it makes it easier to daze something. And then now I can treasure cruise if I want, which I think I do. I don't care if I hit lands. And I can daze this Misty Rainforest and replay it, so keep that in mind. Please tap the right one. I just realized. Okay, thank God. Oh, and I can entomb now? Nice. Sure, I'll just entomb now. Less cards I have to discard. I will just... I have the Misty still in play, so I'll just cut this Misty. I will likely be dazing, picking up this Misty Rainforest anyways. And I will probably just daze anything here. Yeah. Picking up our Misty Rainforest. Bet you didn't see that in paper. I guess you can with like Harbinger of Tides and whatever, but still. All right, we will be reanimating our Atraxa now, which is great. Let's draw a card first, because it's free. Reanimate Atraxa, we go to 4. We want to hit Force of Will. Oh, okay, Daze is not the greatest, but... Ponder, I guess, and then... Sure, we'll take a Polluted Delta. We'll probably discard it. Let's... Ponder, because like we learned this, Edward. Let's find interaction. Okay, we don't have interaction here, so we're going to shuffle. Still did not find interaction, unfortunate. I want to leave back the Orcish, the army. Discard 4 cards. That's a lot of cards. And again, I know Fatal Push doesn't target Boggle, but I don't know if they exclusively have hexproof cards or not. Unfortunately, if they find something that gives their thing unblockable, that's going to be a problem. If they don't, then Atraxa is probably going to take over this game. And we need to ponder to try to find a Force of Will effect to seal the game. As long as player controls enchanted creature, it can't attack or block, otherwise Aura has Umbra Armor. Oh, interesting. I don't even know if that's good, actually. Just, yeah. Yep, okay. Cannot attack or block. That is very punishing for us. Another Entomb does not do much. Let's... Treasure Cruise? Draw 3 cards, which I guess I should have Tamiyo'd first. But we did find a force, so that's nice. Strip mine this white source, I guess. Let's play Tamiyo. Should have done that already, of course, but it is what it is. If they want to block the Bogle, yep, okay. Let's pitch the Entomb. That we will daze. Okay, so now we can Misty, draw a card, and then before I ponder, I'm going to want to attack. That's fine. I don't think reanimating anything over there is going to do anything. No. And then we don't have much over here either. Just another hydroponics. Let's fetch to 3 to trigger the Tamiyo. Uptick. We have a force to pitch. But I'm going to ponder and try to find maybe a daze or another force of will. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that. Decline. I know we only have 1 force to pitch right now, but that may not be true later. End of turn. Pass. Pitch Entomb and I guess Sewers. Okay, they did have another white source. Sure. We can block. We can still block that. We just have to like not let them have lifelink or flying now. Or trample, I guess. I don't think we want anything here. I guess we can... I guess we're supposed to take a blue card. Let's take that. Let's pick up a blue card. Like a daze. Let's play a Tamiyo so we can block. And let's attack. Alright. This has been a very interesting game. Vigilance and reach. Doesn't matter. Slippery Bogle number 2. That does matter. A lot, actually. So here's the thing: if their last thing gives flying, or actually, I guess flying doesn't matter right now because Tameo, but still. All right. I just know the days is not going to be that great. Yep. Oh, it has vigilance. Oh, I missed that part. That's not good. 100% missed that part. Another fatal push. That's not great. I agree. We should think before we act. Let's go to 1. Let's get this island. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't force now. Draw a card. Okay. We can attack for 1. They block. It's not the greatest. I think I'm supposed to just chill and let them attack, and then I let them hit the 1/1, and then I attack them for 3. They go to 1, and then I can attack them again, maybe. I don't. Let's just do this. Yep, that's fine. They take 1. And keep in mind, I can pick up my Orcish Bowmasters with Tameo. So I think I win this. Oh no, I can't pick up Orcish Bowmasters. I'm super dumb. All right, so Treasure Cruise to try to find another Orcish Bowmasters coming up. Yep. Edward is dumb, and that's okay. Sure. Did not find an Orcish Bowmasters. Unfortunate. Am I supposed to entomb and then... Oh, no, this is game 1. I only have 2 Orcish Bowmasters, I think. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, so let's control, pay here, cast days here, yes, submit, return this, I don't know if it matters. Return this island, I guess. Resolve, pay, resolve. And then if they attack, I can block. I need to get another creature into play. This is kind of brutal. Yeah, I think I was supposed to... I missed the vigilance part, and I definitely should have countered the vigilance. That was my biggest punt this game. This is absolutely incredible. Yep. And there's no other way to... Oh, I can... Yeah, that just kills me. Duh. That's why I didn't do that before, because I was at 1. But good games. All right, that's a weird background. So we're on the draw. These fatal pushes aren't going to do very much. And if they sideboard me, they sideboard me. Good for them. Orcish Bowmasters don't do much either. I definitely want these griefs, though. That's for sure. And I definitely want Atraxa Reanimate, because that's going to be how I just absolutely delete their game plan. Yeah, it's too bad that not attacking with my token in the like mid game ended up being the difference there. I was just playing extra careful and it cost me. I don't know if I care about Force of Negation per se. I just need to like hit their boggles, and that's what matters the most. I want to cut a couple brainstorms. Play first. Yeah, I mean, I get to daze their boggle if they have one, so let's do it. They are mulliganing a lot. Which makes sense. We only saw Boggle as their only creature. I don't know what other creatures they have. I'm sure there's other hexproof creatures in the game. Or in the client, I mean. Yeah, they mulligan to 4. Yeah, we're going to surveil and daze. Grief doesn't do a whole lot, and it turns on reanimates if we draw them. They may scoop to this? I don't know. Okay, yep. Go to the next game. Got it. We figured it out. Counter the Boggle. Let's just do it again. This time we're on the draw, unfortunately, so our grief is not going to be... Our grief and our daze is not going to be able to stop their Boggle. And that's unfortunate. And we can't entomb if our Atrax is in our hand, so we're 100% mulliganing. And we found our Force of Will. Cool. Keep. We will put back a Reanimate. We will force probably pitching days, unfortunately. They mulligan to 5 this time. They probably have a second Boggle. Or they just don't want to immediately give us the match, one of the two. Let's just... I'll just get Watery Grave. Okay, Hydroponics will start drawing us cards. If we can find an Entomb, we can get an Atrax into play turn 2. If they play a 2-drop here, I'll maybe regret not keeping the days, but honestly... Abundant Harvest, sure. But honestly, oh, they're going to Swords that. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Yep. Okay. Oh, so these are to help find their boggles, maybe. Let's just play the Undercity Sewers. Strip Mine I don't care about. I want to find Entomb for Reanimate and go from there. Yeah, I don't want to reanimate their boggle. Alright, glad I didn't Strip Mine. Speaking of glad I didn't Strip Mine. You know what? We'll cut them off their white. Or at least attempt to. I can still leave up Orcish Bowmasters. But that's their Swords to Plowshares mana, so let's take that while we can. And end of turn I can Orcish Bowmasters and start beating down. Alright. Cantrip? No, of course not. We already played our Sewers, so we can't Sewers. I will probably just Watery Grave, though, anyways. Just, I don't want to draw lands, and we have another fetch land anyways. Yep, Interest tapped. Okay, there's a Brainstorm. Let's do it. Did find an Entomb. That is excellent. Am I supposed to give back a Grief? Or keep a Grief, I mean. Maybe? Unfortunately, they can very easily have a Swords to Plowshares here, or that enchantment that blanks my Atraxa. Okay, they let it resolve, and we got a Force of Will off of it, so this game might be over very quickly. We will see. How many cards in my yard? 8. We want this Treasure Cruise. Yeah, only 3 cards off this. No, 4. Okay, I'm sorry, 4. Hit the White Source. Again, that's their Swords to Plowshares mana. Attack for 2. And we will force anything that interacts with this Atraxa. I guess if they aura it to make it bigger, we wouldn't, but good games. All right, we got there, 2 and 3. I'll see you in the outro. All right, well, 2 and 3, not the best record in the world. I admit I played this deck more of like a control deck because that's the way I like to play the game, and this is not a control deck. I think if and when I play this deck again, which I'm very incentivized to, I need to put it in my brain that I am the aggressor and I need to make my opponents react to me. I think that's the first thing. We did go to game 3, I think, every time. So the 2-3 record could have easily have been, 3-1. It could have very, very easily been a 3-2 had we, if they didn't have the enchantment to turn off our track. No, we won that match anyway, so never mind. The games could have obviously gone a little bit different, and we could have had a better result because of that. But ultimately, the actions I took led to this 2 and 3. The Harbinger of Seas was actually kind of impressive. I'm not gonna lie. The Grief package, I think this is just mostly supposed to be for combo. I treated the Bogle matchup kind of like a combo matchup. This is mostly just going to be there to turn off their Bogle, though, and assuming they don't have more than one, if you're on the play. The Library of Alexandria is a lot of fun. I did keep hands that weren't great because of the Library of Alexandria, and that led to some losses as well. That's not necessarily a tick against the Library of Alexandria. I admitted when I kept the hands, I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I just really want to play with this card. I'm super excited to play with it in my cube. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. I appreciate everyone for bearing with me as it took, a couple days after I got home to set up another video. And I appreciate everyone. I hope you guys liked this. Let me know if you want to see more of this, if you want me to go back to vintage. And then hopefully I'll have a cube video up for you soon. I'm going to try to get a cube over the weekend and post that either night of or the next day. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of these others you might also enjoy. I alternate between playing vintage and powered cubes both on MTGO and MTG Arena. If you like cubing on Arena, but it's too expensive to play as often as you'd like, check out some of my personal MTG Arena cube videos on this channel. If you like it, join us sometime for a draft. We'd love to have you. If I don't see you in Discord first, I'll catch you in my next video.